Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Decades with Deadgrl, where through the decades we are recapping some of the best songs ever. My favorites, your favorites. I am just so excited to be diving into the wonderful world of music with you. So if you enjoy, please go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. Let's get into part 3 of the 60s. Starting off with our first song, You Really Got Me by the Kinks.
Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I guess.
This song came out in 1964 and then was rumored that Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin had done the guitar solo, but that rumor was debunked by Jimmy Page himself. This song was said to be a love song for street kids. This song was the third song released by the Kinks, and at that point really solidified them into the whole British invasion craze. And you guys probably know that it was later covered by Van Halen in 1979, which is one of the very few Van Halen songs that I actually enjoy, but we'll get there later on. Vocalist Ray Davies was quoted saying, "When I wrote the song, I hadn't been writing very long at all. It was one of the first 5 I ever came up with." He said that he was inspired during his college days playing in the Dave Hunt Band when he saw an attractive girl dancing on the dance floor. He was quoted saying, "When we finished the show, I went off to find her, but she was gone and never returned to the club, but she really got me going." At number 2, we have House of the Rising Sun by The Animals, also from 1964. And I know a lot of you probably know this song immediately as soon as I play this riff. This song has been an absolute staple throughout every generation since it's been released. Sometimes referred to as the Rising Sun Blues, it tells the story of a person's life gone wrong in the city of New Orleans. The first collection of this song took place though in Appalachia in the 1930s. This version by The Animals is by far the most popular. Second probably being the cover by Five Finger Death Punch. The Animals first toured this song during a joint tour with Chuck Berry, and they used this song as the closing act, as most people do. Use their best songs last, leave you wanting that. They leave you wanting more. When I saw Avenged Sevenfold, they played a little piece of heaven last, and they knew we were all waiting for it. Anyways, I digress. One of my favorite versions of House of the Rising Sun is by Haley Reinhart. This was done on American Idol in 2011. We will be talking about her later on with another cover, but I just love her vocals and I feel like they really did fit the soul of the original song, and I will forever love that cover and the original cover by The Animals. And I love when this song is, I don't know, you guys know that I'm just a horror fan, and I love when a song like this ties into a horror movie. I believe this was in the promotion for Straw Dogs, the remake, back when I was in high school. But anyways, moving on to our next song. At number 3, we have The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel from 1965. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk with you again.
This is the song, this is one of the few songs that plays in my head whenever something happens. I am an incredibly clumsy person, so as soon as I do something out of pocket, I keep hitting the door. Immediately, I'm like, hello darkness, my old friend. Anyways, the song's origin and basis are unclear, with some thinking that it has ties back to the assassination of John F. Kennedy, which coincidentally I was born 30 years to the day that happened. I was born on November 22nd, 1993, and he was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. The song was recorded 3 months after the assassination, although Simon and Garfunkel had already performed this song previously under the name Kane and Gar. Paul Simon wrote the song alone in his bedroom in the dark to quote unquote better concentrate. Sorry, not his room, in his bathroom, you know, the acoustics. And he was quoted saying playing guitar allowed him to play and dream, and the echo from the tiles made the room have great acoustics, and he would run the faucet because he liked the sound. And because sitting in the bathroom playing guitar in the dark was a hobby already, it literally became Hello Darkness, my old friend. 50 years after the song's release, it was covered by Disturbed, which is one of the greatest covers of all time. In my opinion, let me know your thoughts down below. It was handled with such care. They gave a whole new meaning to the song with an even more somber and sad performance. And although we will talk about this later on in our series, if you know the lead singer of Disturbed, David Draymond's story, you would probably understand why this song was handled with such care. In 1999, The Sound of Silence was named the 18th most performed song of the 20th century, and in 2004 was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. All right, let's change up the vibe here entirely. At number 4, we have You Keep Me Hanging On by the Supremes from 1966. This song is in so many commercials, which is where as soon as I heard the song in the commercial, I was like, I have to add this to a list. It's an earworm. And the version that I'm most familiar with is by Vanilla Fudge, actually. But this was a follow-up to the Supremes song You Can't Hurry Love, which you guys probably know. And just like The Sound of Silence, this also in 1999 was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Like I mentioned, the cover from Vanilla Fudge from 1967, I have to just take a second to mention this because it was featured in one of my favorite shows, The Sopranos. This song appears in the finale. It also appears in the game Mafia 3, which if you've played that series, it's really good. And even in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It definitely has a vibe and can set the tone for a scene, and in 1996 was covered by the great Reba McEntire. All right, strap in. At number 5, we are talking about one of my favorite songs of all time. That is White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane from 1967. I absolutely could not wait to talk about this. The vocals on this song are absolutely out of this world, and recently an isolated vocal track was released and I have listened to it so many times. It's so phenomenal. The song draws on imagery from Lewis Carroll's 1865 book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and its 1871 sequel, Through the Looking Glass. Two stories I have been obsessed with since I was a little girl. Not only did Grace Slick absolutely slay the vocals on this, she wrote the song as well. And I personally feel like the only other person that would do the vocals justice, in my opinion, would have been Janis Joplin. Slick said the song was supposed to be a wake-up call to parents who read their children novels such as these and then would wonder why their children used drugs. She later said all the fairy tales read to little girls have a Prince Charming who comes to save them, but Alice did not. She was on her own in a very strange place, but she kept on going, and she followed her curiosity. That's the White Rabbit. A lot of women could have taken a message from that story about how to push your own agenda. Slick added that the line in the song Feed Your Head is both about reading and psychedelics. Feeding your head by paying attention, read some books, pay attention. I love thought-provoking music, and even better, thought-provoking music with a story, and even further so, thought-provoking music with a story based on a story. Okay, at number 6, we have a song very near and dear to my heart, and that is The End by The Doors from 1967 as well. In the 7th grade, they asked our music class, when I was in music class, they asked us to bring 2 songs to school to compare. And me, being me, I chose Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day. and The End by The Doors. And now that I'm a lot older, I feel like I can draw more comparison than I did at 12 years old. But this song forever stayed with me. I remember showing up with these two songs burned on a CD and playing them in front of the class, and a lot of people kind of like, what is this? That was about the time American Idiot was very popular, so that went over well. But as soon as we went to The Doors, a lot of people did not enjoy that. But you know what? The Burnouts, they got it. Shout out. I absolutely love The Doors. Jim Morrison initially wrote this song about a breakup with ex-girlfriend Mary Warblow. In a 1969 interview, Morrison said, "Every time I hear that song, it means something else to me. I really don't know what it was trying to say. I just started out as a simple goodbye song, probably just to a girl, but I could see how it could be a goodbye to a kind of childhood. I think it's sufficiently complex and universal in its imagery that it could be almost anything you want it to be." He was also quoted saying about the line, "My only friend, the end," that sometimes the pain is too much to even examine or to tolerate, but that doesn't make it evil or necessarily dangerous. But people fear death even more than pain. It's strange that they fear death. Life hurts a lot more than death. At the point of death, the pain is over. Yeah, I guess it's a friend. Marilyn Manson released this song as a single in 2019 and went to go release a 7-inch vinyl of this, but The Doors blocked the release of this. Like whoever was affiliated, they were like, no, this is not happening. It was claimed that Manson and his partner Zev Deans were taking too many creative liberties with the release of that. And you know what? You gotta stand up for what you believe in, especially when it's your own property. And speaking of standing up for what you believe in, I guess we're gonna move right into number 7, Stand By Your Man by Tammy Wynette from 1968.
Stand by your man.
I feel like this song is quintessential. We wake up in the middle of the night and there's an ad playing about the best songs of the 60s, okay? Picture this. You fall asleep with a random channel that's on TV. You're drifting, you're dead asleep, it's 3 a.m. and you are awakened to the sound of your TV on 100 volume and stand by your man. Because that's what I picture. This song was released in 1968, and the late 60s, early 70s women's liberation movement were not happy with this song. A lot of feminist groups deemed it too conservative. Well, for others, this made Tammy Wynette a spokesperson for working class housewives experiencing, quote, this is a quote, marital disappointments, and also changing gender roles in the 1960s. However, Wynette herself said she had no social this is just a song that she wrote. Okay, let's talk about this though for a second. In 1992, in a 60 Minutes interview, Bill Clinton about his affair with Jennifer Flowers. Now, this is Hillary being interviewed. Let me just preface this. She says, and I quote, "I'm not sitting here, some little woman standing by my man like Tammy Wynette." And rightfully so, Wynette was angered by this statement, issued her own statement after, rightfully so. Good for her. All right, almost done here at number 8. Let's move on to Bonnie and Clyde by Brigitte Bardot and Serge Gainsbourg from 1968. The cat is scratching at the door to get in.
And Clyde.
I first heard this song when it was played in Rush Hour 3. It was so sexy and sultry, and as a teen trying to expand her music knowledge, I immediately put this song on my iPod and bragged to my friends at school about this cool new song that I found. The song tells the story of outlaw couple Bonnie and Clyde, and it's based on an English language poem written by Bonnie Parker herself a few weeks before she and Clyde Barrow were shot, entitled The Trail's End. And fun fact, in case you guys didn't know, if you guys are a fan of the actress Charlotte Gainsbourg, who actually does make incredible music, by the way, that Serge Gainsbourg is her father. All right, last two here at number 9. We have Sugar Sugar by the Archies from 1969.
You are my candy girl.
Oh, honey, honey. This song was recorded by the Archies, a fictional bubblegum pop band from the Archie comics. One of the real singer-songwriters behind the hit song was quoted saying, "It was very catchy, it had a great hook, it was very singable, and we laughed, we had a great time doing it." This song has been in so many commercials and in so many different pieces of media, but notably covered by Wilson Pickett in 1970. And if you guys have maybe heard this song growing up, it was covered by the rapper Nitty in 2005 for the song Nasty Girl. But the song was only interpolated. It was sampled, it was interpolated, and the song ended up going, "Honey, I got a lot of money." And moving on to the last song here at number 10, Is That All There Is by Peggy Lee from 1969.
Is that all there is?
This song was actually a recommendation for me to look into, and I'm very glad that I did. And I feel like it is very fitting to be the last song on this list. This song was inspired by an 1896 story called Disillusionment by Thomas Mann, and the lyrics of this song are written from the point of view of a person who is disillusioned with events in life that are supposedly unique experiences. The singer tells of witnessing her family's house on fire when she was a little girl, seeing the circus, and falling in love for the first time. But after each recital, she expresses her disappointment in the experience, and she suggests that we break out of the booze and have a ball if that's all there is, instead of worrying about life. She explains that she'll never kill herself either because she knows that death will also be a disappointment as well. And I feel like this is a good spot to end this video. If you guys would like to leave your favorite songs of the 60s, we've got a couple videos left in this decade before we move on. I am so excited about just moving on and sharing this series. I am so excited to get to the 80s. I think about it every day. But let me know down below as well if you would A, like this in audio form on podcast listening services, and B, would like a playlist with all of the songs. I only use Apple Music, so let me know if that's fine with you. But I don't know, I just want to make this as an immersive experience as possible. I just love music and I want to share that with you. So if you guys enjoyed, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more. I will see you so soon for another reaction. Sayonara, suckers.